My guess is he's the donor.
It was way too much blood for such a small donation. Yeah, I mean, I was about ready to donate to a hospital, but the first aid kit didn't come with proper instructions. Alright, so pretty much there is no contradiction. So pretty much like with Meekins, just press everything. When you say it, you mean?
Go ahead.
You even have to ask, partner. Yes or no incident.
2 years have passed since that case was closed. It was going to be completely end with the transferal that day.
Not if I had anything to do with it. That incident's not over. But what did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room? When a case is closed, only the case lead detective can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself one more time. No matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner. That case is mine. But Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. Why does he care so much about it? That day was my last chance. That's why I stole the detective's ID card and just like him. Why did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman? If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transferal, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere.
So you did it to fool the security camera.
And the detective's ID card?
Stole that the morning of the incident. So that really was why Goodman started filing out that lost item report. I returned his ID card, left it on the floor in the prospector's office parking lot. The ID card I found was left there by Officer Marshall.
So essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight.
What do you mean, partner?
I mean, the fingerprint activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that locker yourself.
But you could, because the rubber glove just happened to get stuck in the door. That means Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall. Alright, so he wasn't expecting Officer Meekins, he knocked him out. He pulled a knife on Officer Meekins and tried to drive him off. Let's just say I was a little surprised. I only planned on being in that evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would actually come in during that short time.
Officer Meekins certainly is a one-in-a-million type of person. Mistaking a detective for an intruder and demanding to be shown his ID.
I'll have to think a little more about his raise this year.
When did Ashworth get so much influence? Anyway, he threw himself at me and I ended up cutting him slightly. Sorry it had to turn out that way. Me knocking him out and everything. By the way, what happened to your knife? Oh, you mean this one? It still has blood on it too. I don't know what to say.
So you knocked Officer Meekins out and...
They managed to escape. So you did your research beforehand. Those who go into the desert unprepared don't live long, partner. I didn't think it would make a difference, though. The security tape is raised every 6 hours. If all had gone to plan, no footage would have been left.
However, you bloodied your coat in the struggle with Officer Meekins.
If someone was in the security room when I came out, the jig would have been up. I opened my locker and snatched it in there. What was Officer Meekins doing during that time? What else? Sleeping like a baby.
So what you're saying is on that day...
There was no murder in the evidence room at 5:15. But the blood found on the scene clearly indicates a crime took place. Are you blind? The victim shown in that tape is me. I'm not dead yet, partner.
So you stole the evidence from the locker?
Actually, no I didn't.
Why not?
When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone.
What? Mr. Edgeworth, where is that evidence?
I'm still missing, Your Honor.
I think I know what that evidence is, but I'll wait.
Detective Goodman's locker was already empty. Someone else stole the evidence. Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing? Fire away, partner. It's a free country. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer. Why did you do this? Stealing a detective's ID? Injuring a police officer? This is no small offense!
Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. You can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary.
Not that salary cuts are ever a valid solution. Like I said, this isn't your case. This one's mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with.
The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more.
As this is a new statement. I can't just forget the SL9 incident. You know why? And I think you do know.
Well,
you remember
we do
the
know
files. There was
because...
one name in this file that seemed to be connected to Jake. So let's ask him about this. Officer Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident. Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner. I have the SL9 incident file here. The name Marshall is mentioned in here. In a list of murder victims. Neil Marshall, are you related to this man?
Neil Marshall.
Yeah, I'm sure you've heard the name. 2 years ago, he received the same lousy prosecutor award you got.
What? A prosecutor?
He must be talking about the King of Prosecutors award.
Now I remember. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the SL9 case before I did.
That's right. He was killed. And the case fell into your hands.
But what's his relation to you?
He was my brother. He was investigating the murders with Damon Gann, the then Deputy Chief of Police.
Oh, hello.
Hello! Yes, can I get a pizza, please? The group of detectives I was part of worked under them. We were desperate to prosecute the killer. Hello there. Joe Dark. My brother fought Dark and was killed. That was the first time Dark left behind any evidence. That was all we needed. He was arraigned and incarcerated. The case was finally closed, at least according to the public records.
What do you mean?
My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dark. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beat him in a fight.
That's it. That's your reason for your insane actions.
There's more to my brother's death than what the records say. No matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool me.
Well, at least one thing's for certain. Now we know what happened to the police department on the day of the crime.
That was the last day the SL9 case could be reopened. Not satisfied with its resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence.
Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Officer Meekus confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled.
Yes, this mystery has finally been cleared up. No murder took place at the police department that day. Things that happen by chance never cease to amaze. At the exact same time as the murder at the prosecutor's office. The same murder was going on at the police department.
Chance? There's gotta be more to it than that.
So if no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, that means the murder in the prosecutor's office parking lot was the real one.
Which in turn means only one person could have committed the crime. Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky.
No.
But wait! Our verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial!
Which is why we examined the incident at the police department today.
But...
There's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There yet remained the mystery of the simultaneous murder at the police department.
Seems to me, this boy's got the draw on you, partner.
All of the mysteries of the police department have been resolved, no doubt about it. A sole murder took place at the prosecutor's office. The only suspect is Alana Sky. And the testimony of one missing star is completely uncontested. The other response, make it a single word or less. Objection!
Ah! No objections.
I rest my case.
Yes, I'm also. Let's all get some Papa John's out
These are the
folks. Hot dog Papa John's.
It seems this trial has reached its conclusion. There's no room for doubt.
Well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I didn't need to waste my time disproving the alleged murder at the police department.
There's no doubt what I proved today is true. The apparent murder on the security camera's tape really was fake. But I didn't realize that it would end up proving Lara guilty.
Now then, it's time. The time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant.
Hold it!
Hold it! Your Honor, wait!
Emma,
The defense has an objection, a scientific objection. Right?
what do you mean, right?
Mr. Wright, are you this girl's guardian?
Your Honor, in a sense, if I say yes, can I avoid getting into trouble? No promises.
Please, Your Honor. All I'm asking is for a minute of your time. Please hear me out. Mr. Edgeworth, please.
I don't want to leave any loose ends. You want a minute? I'll give you 3.
I was kind of in shock. I mean, finding out about the SL9 incident referred to as the Joe Dart killings.
Now that she mentions it, the names of both Sky Sisters were in that file.
Well, that's when I figured it out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day. So I knew his fingerprint had nothing to do with the crime. That left only one thing. The other handprint.
You mean the traces of blood found in Detective Gumshoe's home?
But no fingerprints were found on it, right?
No, but I figured if I examined it scientifically, I'd be sure to find a clue. So I ran over there and looked at it again.
So did you find something?
No.
Huh?
Sorry. I guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all.
Is that all?
Please don't be mad. I'm just a high school student.
And I'm just an attorney. What else is new?
But Mr. Wright, Those 2 traces of blood are the only clue we have left. If we can find something wrong with them... Please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional. If anyone can save Lana, it's you.
Me? Oh boy.
Time's up. Now then, Mr. Wright. With regard to the incident in the police department, does any reasonable doubt remain? Yes. Yes.
It appears the defense is troubled by the other blood mark. Looking at the floor plans, a handprint was discovered around here. Is there a problem with this?
Mr. Wright, I'm sorry I can't be more of use.
Yes.
But still,
Actually, hold on.
Well,
Prove me or prove me wrong.
if you
The
can't
issue
find
with it
anything
is
wrong with
that
Go ahead.
go ahead.
Oh, alright.
Blue
okay.
Badger is in front of the locker, so therefore it can't be proved at the time that it was there. Continue.
Alright, go ahead, continue.
Alright.
If you can't find anything wrong with the blood mark, Lana will be...
Please answer my question, Mr. Wright. We don't have all day, you know.
we don't have all day. We only got 8 minutes left before the stream ends. Yes, Your Honor. Whenever I need to concentrate, it is now. What could be wrong with that handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker?
Easy.
Could there be something I'm missing? Yes, alright, yeah, you
Yes,
guys are pointing it
okay.
out, so we'll go ahead and object. This handprint left at the crime scene clearly shows a contradiction.
The only thing that seems clear is you're gasping, Mr. Wright.
You've been staring pretty intently at those floor plans. Tell me, is there a problem with them? Of course there is.
Yes, this is strange. Take a good look at these floor plans. Something is missing.
Missing? You mean something hasn't been drawn on there?
Yes, something that, when drawn, will completely change the meaning of the blood mark.
Let us pray the defense isn't simply trying to buy time. Very well, Mr. Wright.
With all this evidence here, there's gotta be something I can use.
Question is, which item can prove something is missing in the floor plans?
And yeah, you
Blue
guys
Badger.
pointed out it's the Blue Badger.
Yes, here I am. I'm gonna steal your soul. And this case.
What about that piece of plywood? The Blue Badger, mascot of the police force, defender of truth, guardian of proof, and nightmares to children of all ages.
Explain yourself, Mr. Wright.
Please look at the floor plans of the crime scene. The Blue Badger is not here. So, watch what happens when we put him in. This is where he was dancing at the time of the crime. Well,
Well, what?
that's right. So long as the Blue Badger is dancing here, it would be impossible to place a handprint at this spot of the locker. What?
So that means, just a second. What does that mean?
Yeah, what does this mean? It means it can't be done.
What are you saying? Blood traces were undeniably found on that locker.
Don't look at me. I didn't put it there.
Mr. Wright, think it through scientifically.
Emma, what the fuck did you get here? I jumped over. Emma!
Read Meekin's stuff.
On the day of... On
He
that
said
afternoon,
He put it in the evidence room.
That's right, yeah, yes, that's right, ESM. Don't worry, I'm gonna explain scientifically.
So he put it
Officer
in evidence
Meekins was the
room.
one who brought the
So
Blue
he had
Badger to the
escape
evidence
card
room,
go
right?
Right.
Put it down. He got out.
As we
I'm
found
basically
out,
recreating it without using
it
those
would be
words.
impossible to leave a handprint on that
Pretty
locker.
much. But don't worry, I'm saying it better. And scientifically.
then, when he came out, when he came to check on it later because he woke up and saw that someone was in there.
That must mean this blood mark was left there before the Blue Badger was brought in.
Just one moment. I will not allow such far-fetched blabberdash in my courtroom.
It may be far-fetched, Your Honor, but it's the only possible explanation. On February 21st, in the police department's evidence room, blood was spilled not once, but twice.
But how?
One time was captured on this tape, taken by the security camera. Officer Minkus cut his hand, from which a trivial amount of blood fell. The problem is the other time. Mr. Wright?
I got my own blood right here. Nice one.
Someone bled prior to the struggle shown on this tape. It had to have been, drumroll please, Detective Goodman when he was really murdered.
That's ridiculous. I refuse to accept your absurd claim.
The murder portrayed in the security tape has been proven to be a fake. However, that does not explain the blood mark found on the locker.
Still then, assuming this murder you purport really happened, when did it take place? I demand you to show evidence to prove what occurred. Timesheet.
Really
Wait.
easy.
When did the first incident occur?
Timesheet.
To summarize, the defense claims that prior to Officer Meekins being cut by Jake Marshall, who was posing as Detective Goodman, another incident took place in that evidence room.
That's right. The blood mark on the locker proves this.
Very well. Then tell us, when did this first incident occur at Edgewood? As Mr. Edgewood said, proof must be presented.
And I know exactly what the proof is.
Proof that shows that
Harry said, "Pick the time card."
Yep. Proof that shows
Yep.
the murder took place. There's one piece of evidence that can show that.
Now then, will you please present its evidence? What shows when the first crime took place?
Yeah,
The evidence-
pretty much
yeah.
as ESM said. Yeah, ID card record.
ID card record, yeah.
If the crime took place inside the evidence room, then the killer would have had to enter it. And in order to do so, an ID card would have been required.
An ID card? Oh, the ID card record.
Officer Meekins brought the Blue Badger panel to the evidence room at...
Let's see here, 4:50 p.m. If the crime took place before that time, then it would have been 4:40.
Edgeworth.
Miles Edgeworth, just what have you done?
You're gonna go and tell now, boy? Yes! I've been waiting for this moment. I never figured you have the nerve, boy.
Trust the actual witness. It doesn't take a lot of thought to figure it out. It couldn't have been me.
Nope, I ain't getting it.
I'm afraid I don't understand either.
How do I get this job again? Who are you people?
It's clear from the luminal test that the blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Officer Meekins and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood.
That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away by the real murderer.
I would have had just 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry his body away, and clean up the blood. Unfortunately, that's physically impossible.
That would mean the crime must have taken place before Mr. Edgeworth entered the evidence room.
Let's take a look at the chart again.
7777777.
There's only one other card number remaining. 777777.
7 times.
Yep. Which is 49. Talk about a lucky number.
But wait, that doesn't make sense. How could Detective Goodman have entered the evidence room?
Since there's no record of his card being used beforehand, he must have entered along with the real murderer. That's the only plausible explanation. He went in with 7777777.
49.
39.
49. Which coincidentally, we aren't worried about, eh?
Mr. Edgeworth, please look into this ASAP. Find out whose ID number is 777777749.
Actually, that's 17. Oh, go ahead. You can say this anyway.
That's 1-7 too many, Your Honor.
Which means you got a 56. Damn it.
Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of that ID card. At least at present.
What? Explain yourself, son. Where's your son?
The ID number 7777777 belongs to someone with the rank of captain or higher.
Actually, can you say 7 more time? I'll go ahead and count now.
7777777.
49.
7777777.
Okay, it's like between the 7 and 8. It's like 7 point. It's like 7.9.
I said 7 times.
I think it did, yeah. I think my fingers just went too fast. Whatever.
Someone who is so-called executive officer. We don't have the authority to inquire into such a person's identity.
But that's ridiculous. Just how?
I'm not finished talking, Mr. Wright. There is one situation in which we can be granted such authority.
If an official charge filed against an executive is accepted,
An official charge? You're all alike, aren't you? Your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how the prospector's office operates.
I take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. I would appreciate if you would keep your slander to yourself.
Slander, is it? Okay. Let me ask a question.
Yes.
No, not to you. To her. The defendant sitting over there. Your own little executive. Lana?
Don't be stupid. She's been charged with murder. Of course, we looked up her ID number, and it's not 7777777.
Think about it. I think what the problem is, when I get to 4, I'm already doing wrong, so whatever. Don't play before a full partner. I've done math too. That's not what I want to ask. All I want to know is one thing about that incident.
the SO9 incident,
Answer me this, Chief Prospector. In that trial 2 years ago, did you really only use legitimate evidence? Hi.
Do you need the witness to repeat his question, Chief Prosecutor?
I heard him fine, Mr. Edgeworth.
2 years ago, I was in charge of the prosecution for that trial. At the time,
Occasionally, we felt the powerlessness of the law. At least, I did. Look, oh, go ahead.
Lana!
I became a prosecutor in order to suppress crime with the law. Before I realized it, we were the ones being suppressed by the law.
defendant, just what are you saying?
I'll ask you again, Chief Prospector. During that trial 2 years ago, did you really present all the evidence in court? Can you look me, an investigator in that crime, in the eye and say that you did?
Chief Prosecutor, you didn't.
I don't have to, Officer Marshall.
why won't you answer him?
Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to, in order for him to get the verdict he deserved.
But Lana!
Even if it involved forging evidence.
Oh,
Dun dun dun. Warrior.
Oh, what a... Oh my god, what a...
See?
Never mind.
That's what I'm talking about.
No.
Orders were Martin caused such a stir. The chaos in the courtroom could not be quelled. The conclusion of the trial would have to wait until the following day.
I can just imagine the court going to a fucking
Next time on Phoenix Wright.
Ace
Right.
Attorney.
attorney.
Yeah, I mean, woo. And now you guys understand why I do like this case as much, because, I mean, like I said, just from the second trial.
You know why I don't like it?
I mean,
It's too drawn out.
I mean, yeah, it does draw it out. I will admit. But even in some place where it does draw out, like, you know, it's moments like this that, you know, pretty much even now, like, you know, just reading it and everything and following the scene, and again, even with that ending, with the way that, like, you know, they were ending up the trial, like, it's really good. Like, it's just really good, and, like, you know, pretty much, like, you know, bringing people in to, like, you know, do this case even more, just to see, like, how it all ends and such. Like, there's just a lot of stuff in this trial that's just, you know, really engaging and everything. And that's one of the reasons why it's one of my favorite cases, honestly. But yeah. So yeah, we are done with the second trial. Like I said, a lot of stuff has gone down, especially towards the end. So now it just all depends on, like, us getting Lana out and figuring out who was the 7777777s and everything.
That was 56.
I mean, hold on. 7777777. There we go. Now it's 49. But anyway, so yeah. Alright, so next time when we come back, it's going to be another investigation. And like I said, if you thought that last investigation was long, get ready, because we're going to be in for, this next investigation, the last one, it's definitely going to be long. And I'll admit, yeah, that is another one that does drag out and such. So yeah, we are definitely going to be here for a while. And that's probably going to be the only thing we're going to be doing next session. Session after that, we only got about, like, 3 more trials left, so we don't know if we're gonna do all those 3 trials in one session, or just basically do 2 trials and just save the last trial for the finale. So, we'll figure it out as we go along and everything. But yeah. So, well, we already know how ESN is feeling about this case so far, and such. But Bonnie, how are you feeling about the case so far?
This one, I will admit, today was awesome.
It was. It definitely was awesome, man. Like I said, honestly, this trial and definitely the last 3 parts of the trial and everything, it's definitely my favorite part of the. It's definitely my favorite part of the case overall and such. So
I completely forgot about that twist. And
about the forging evidence and all that. Yeah.
I completely forgot about that twist.
Yes, it's a forgery. Unfortunately, that we'll solve later, but yeah, like I said, it's a damn good twist, and like I said, it's again, just the way that it was handling in the game and everything. Honestly, it's one of those things where, like, I am really sad that, like, you know, this case was not involved in the anime whatsoever and everything, because I would have loved to see, like, you know, how they would have handled it in the anime, to be honest.
I want to watch
Well,
the anime.
why wasn't it done? Maybe.
Okay, well, like I said, I think what they were doing is, like, they were more, like, following, like, how the 3 games were released in Japan and everything when they first came out in the Game Boy Advance.
And then they made one original.
I mean, yeah, they definitely made some. They definitely did make a couple of, like, original episodes here and there. And pretty much, as you remember, like, this case was not in the very first game until, like, the DS re-release, and then, like, all the other re-releases afterwards and such.
You know, you know, I would have loved it. Maybe they would have made it like an Easter egg and like a DVD or something.
Pretty much, either an Easter egg or even, like, you know, or even, like, you know, some kind of, like, you know, all-on special or something. I think that probably would have worked or something.
Yeah, definitely. Even though the anime is still fantastic without it.
Pretty much, yeah. Alrighty, guys. Well, this has been Score Diesel saying thank you all so much for watching. Okay, so we do know that next week is going to be Easter weekend and everything, so most likely we're probably not going to stream next week, so we'll keep you guys updated on when the next stream is going to happen and everything, and like I said, when we come back, there's no way about it. It's only going to be on that investigation, because like I said, that's the long one right there, and I highly doubt we're going to squeeze in a trial after that investigation, so pretty much when we come back, we'll do the investigation part, and then, like I said, we only got 3 more trials left to go, and then not only are we all done with the case, but we're all done with the first game, so when that happens, we'll take a long break, and then pretty much we'll come back whenever we're ready to do Justice for All and such, so alright guys, well, this has been Sakura Diesel saying thank you all so much for watching. If you guys have enjoyed this live stream session of Ace Attorney, don't forget to hit that like button. If you guys are excited to see us do more of Rise from the Ashes and everything, hit that subscribe button as well. If you guys, and also don't forget, if you guys got any games you want me to try out, list them in the comments on YouTube or on my Facebook page. If you guys like movie and TV show reviews, check out my main channel where I mostly do that. Or check them out on Barney's Co-op channel, Review Bros, where we review movie and TV shows together. We also review music, we also review, music and everything. And yeah, if you saw that, like, by the time this came out, we released a new, we did release a new video where actually we review Philip, one of the original fifth member.
Review, interview, you mean?
Yeah, pretty much pretty much the interview and everything. And honestly, it was definitely fun. It was definitely a fun interview from the beginning to end and everything.
Yes, if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. It's an extremely long interview, but we assure you it's worth it.
Pretty much. And yeah, speaking of which, don't forget to check out Bonnie and ESM's respective channels, which their links will be in the description below. But yeah, anyway, guys, this has been Sakura Diesel with my two good friends,
Bonnie
and Officer Mike Meekins.
Yes,
And yeah, so we'll see you guys in the very next session. Again, probably not next week, because again, Easter, but we'll let you guys know when we're ready to come back. So until then, take care, everybody, and bye-bye.
Bye, folks.